hit me fast. Just give me a minute.
Do you think this is what happened to RPG?
I don't know.
Hello. Have a good one.
Down.
What can I do for you? Please bless you.
2 miles northwest of a suspected Bigfoot nesting site,
Ah, this would be perfect. This stump right here.
Maria and Ronnie are getting ready to deploy a new tactic in hopes of luring Bigfoot out of
How are
hiding.
you? See you later.
When you get the evidence that we've been getting, the nest, the hawk, the footprint, this is the time to
Good
let them
day
know
to
that we're
you.
not here to harm them.
See you around.
Bigfoot needs to get your trust, and the best way to do it is to create an exchange through the process of gifting.
Is gifting a common thing in the Bigfoot world where people leave stuff and find stuff in return?
There's different camps. Some people believe this is just hooey. But I think that we should try everything we can.
Gifting is something that we observe in the natural world. You know, gentoo penguins will use gifting. Sometimes they will give a rock, you know, to gain a mate. But the idea that Bigfoot is coming in to take this gift and leave something behind, that is a really long stretch.
I need more
On the
men.
other hand, science sometimes does require a non-traditional approach. Ronnie says he's had results this way before, so I'm open to his suggestions.
The area they'll be focusing on for this new tactic is the zone between the possible nest and the location that the suspected Bigfoot vocalization.
Hey,
How are you?
awesome. How are you?
Doing great.
Great property, man. This is awesome out here.
We are in the middle of nowhere.
How far are we from where you actually saw this thing?
Right here, about 100 yards.
That one?
Nana.
That's it, right there. Up in where you can see the natural saddle is where it was sitting.
So you didn't actually see it up there,
I
right?
never saw it until it hit the ground.
So now that we're actually here at the location, tell me everything that happened. Like what happened before, during, and after the encounter.
I wanted to walk down this little slough and see if I could find fruit-bearing trees. I got out of the truck, grabbed my gun, grabbed my camera. Down the trail I came. And I heard a loud crash behind me. And I turned around, and on the ground was a creature 5 feet behind me. I reached back to grab my gun. I'm looking at this thing, and it's human looking. So I let go of the rifle, grab the camera, take the lens cap off, and it takes off running.
So, and it was daytime, right?
Daytime.
You got a heck of a good look at it.
Middle of the day.
I mean, such close encounters are typically unheard. So, using this opportunity, what did you notice about its face?
There was no visible hair in the face or on the face anywhere other than around the mouth. There was very, very fine, what I would call baby hair.
Okay.
The skin was dark, but it was real shiny looking, almost like oily looking. Its mouth was open just a little bit. The only noise that I heard was it actually.
How did this whole thing end? I mean, it ran off.
Well, of course I went after it. And I snapped pictures.
Do you have those with you?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
There it is right there.
Yeah, it is a blob squatch indeed, but there's something there.
And this is the photo of the footprint.
I love situations like this. I had serious reservations about Jeff's story when I first heard it, but now that I've been to the location, heard the details, and then saw the pictures, I think he probably saw a Sasquatch in the middle of the day. I'm blown away.
So that mailbox.
Yes, ma'am. This is where it was. You see what happened? I pulled up with my vehicle, and I put the paper in a tube. And something off the side of my eye right here shaking. Hold a little bit more so I could face it. This figure was walking along that tree line right there. Looked at me, and I saw these big red eyes. It was big. Looked at each other for seconds, and then I got scared, and I
So you first catch a glimpse of it, and you're not sure what you're seeing, and then you can more in. Especially that second time. You've got the on it. Can you describe just everything that you saw?
Oh, when it turned and looked at me, it was really big. The shoulders especially, they were at least like about this wide. And the head was kind of, like I said, was kind of pushed in, and the head was kind of conish on the top.
Enough mana.
I couldn't really see the face too much because it was kind of like hair in it, but the eyes, I mean, they just came up through the amount of hair I saw. They were real bright, and they were around, I mean, from that distance, they kind of looked about like this. I mean, they were big.
And you're in shock.
Yeah, this thing spooked me.
I'm hoping after I talk to Jamie, I can figure out why the Squatches are using this river. Thanks for meeting me on such a lousy day. So, Jimmy, you got through what happened there, where you got dropped off, it's where you were walking, all that.
Okay. Well, I was walking home, and I got dropped off at that dirt road. It was about 11:30 that night, full moon. My boyfriend dropped me off. I was walking all the way down to my house, and I heard a big, loud, heavy animal. It looked like a big gorilla. And that's when I just turned around, grabbed my necklace, and just prayed, please, God. I just knew that it was something to get away from. I moved all the way over to that side of the road, and then I walked maybe 10 feet down, turned to look behind me. It was just following me with its head just all the way down the road. And I just turned around and never looked back.
God, that had to be the scariest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie snuck out of her house on it looking for a little excitement, but she got way more than she was expecting.
I'd be with you.
If a little bad behavior was all it took to see a Sasquatch, I'd be seeing them all the time. And Moneymaker would be surrounded by them.
You can
What are you looking for?
clearly make out the whole silhouette
I supply
of it.
only the
You
finest
could tell
goods.
that it was shoulders coming forward.
Safe travels.
So do you mind running us through everything that happened?
Sure. It was this past Wednesday, the 28th of January,
Hey
right
there.
before dusk.
Have a good one.
I was walking down the road, just getting a little exercise, and I got a creepy feeling. So I stopped and I looked to the left, and I immediately made eye contact with a big, hairy hominid. I knew the only thing it could be was a Bigfoot. Finally, I said, "Hey!"
You need something?
Ambled off into the palmettos and disappeared.
See you later.
It was standing right next to that oak tree. Its mouth was slightly open.
How did it move?
Very smooth. No head bob. It just glided right through.
At nighttime, he was up on the platform waiting for the hunt. He heard this loud animal walking through the forest, breaking branches. It was not a guy slothing. He knew it was a Makinwari.
Is he absolutely certain he was walking on two legs?
The animal he saw was like a human. He said 3 hours later, he came back, doing the same thing, walking, breaking branches and screaming very loud.
How often would it scream?
Every 20 minutes.
The thing that jumped out to me the most was that he said, "Woo," every 20 minutes. Same thing the rubber tapper told me.
Glad we found you.
Well, now that we're at this location, can you and Carrie run us through what you guys observed that day?
Sure. We were driving along coming from this direction
My
right over
mana
here.
is low.
It was just before twilight. When I came around the curve, I saw an animal running on two legs. As it got up to the edge,
I need more mana.
These are true stories based on submissions from the BuzzFeed Unsolved Network audience. These are their encounters. One night when I was in seventh grade, I had two friends sleeping over, and we were in my basement. My brother, who was around 7 at the time, had bought himself a new Furby and got bored of it after a few weeks. Then it sat untouched in the basement closet. As you may know, Furbies sometimes begin to talk when they are moved, yet they only speak gibberish, not English. This night, it was around 4 a.m., and we had all the lights out, and it was silent. We were laying down to go to bed, and out of nowhere, we hear this Furby's voice say, "Come play with me."